The movie opens with 3 people lying unconscious in the middle of a desert, 2 men and 1 woman. At this point, these 3 are the only living people left in the world. Everyone else has perished in a great catastrophe that wiped out humanity. When the woman regains consciousness, she screams in fear, the trauma of the disaster still haunting her. But no one hears her except the 2 unconscious men nearby. Her name is Anna. Seeing this strange new place, Anna is terrified. She only remembers that she was at a party before everything went dark, but how she ended up here, she has no idea. After a while, she pulls herself together and starts looking around. Soon, she spots Vince, lying unconscious not far away. As she runs to him, he slowly opens his eyes. Vince, too, is shocked to see this barren place, but when he sees Anna, his face lights up with relief. Anna is his younger sister. The 2 of them had been at the same party, but neither of them knows how they got here. Realizing they're both alive, they hug each other in joy. Then they notice a 3rd person lying nearby, a man named Mason. After a few moments, Mason also wakes up, confused but soon relieved to be alive. Looking around at the desolate landscape, the 3 quickly understand that the entire world has been destroyed and that they are the only survivors left on Earth. After some time, the trio begins walking to find a place to stay. They may have survived, but they have no shelter, no food, and no water. Exhaustion and hunger soon begin to wear them down. After walking for hours, Anna notices something strange. The place where the ocean once was has completely dried up. Vince encourages her to keep going, and they continue onward. Eventually, after climbing to a high point, they spot the sea in the distance. Overjoyed, the 3 rush toward it, knowing they can finally catch fish to eat. They dive into the water, then rest on the shore afterward. As they prepare to leave, they notice a large number of crabs crawling on the beach. Mason, who loves eating crab, is delighted, but Anna and Vince, who have never eaten crab before, are frightened. Soon, even more crabs begin to emerge and crawl toward them. Before Anna can move away, 1 crab bites her foot. Mason quickly kills the crab and starts eating it. Anna sits down, wincing in pain, while Mason keeps eating. Seeing Anna hurt, Mason rushes to her. Before helping her, he jokingly throws a few crabs at Vince, who reacts angrily. Then Mason tears a piece of Anna's dress and wraps it around her wounded foot to stop the bleeding. Her pain eases, and she's able to walk again. As Mason tends to her, his gaze lingers on Anna, her fair skin catching his attention. Anna looks back at him. There's a strange connection between them. Meanwhile, hungry and with no other choice, Vince starts eating crabs too. As time passes, Anna and Mason grow closer to each other. Later, when Vince finishes eating, he lies down and falls asleep. When he wakes up, he notices Anna holding Mason's hand as they walk away together. He feels uneasy and jealous, but says nothing for now. Still, he can't shake the suspicion that something is going on. A little later, Vince spots some of Anna's clothes lying on the ground, and at that moment, he's certain that something must have happened between Anna and Mason while he was asleep. Vince didn't say anything at that moment, and the 3 friends started walking again to find a place to stay. After walking for a while, they spotted a house in the distance. It looked like a lighthouse. Excited, they hurried toward it. Anna was extremely hungry and thirsty since she hadn't eaten anything at the beach. Mason began searching inside the house for something to eat or drink, but there was no food and no water anywhere. The entire place was empty, no sign of any people. Seeing this, the 3 of them felt deeply disappointed. They realized it wasn't safe to stay here long. They needed to find food and water soon. What they didn't know was that a dog was secretly watching them from a corner. While Vince went upstairs to look for food, the same dog suddenly jumped on him from above. Startled, Vince shouted, and the other 2 came running. As they rushed outside, they finally saw the dog, the one that had been hiding in the house, observing them all along. The dog barked loudly at them. The 3 quickly understood that it was trying to show them something, so they decided to follow it. After walking for quite some time, they reached a lush green area full of life and vegetation. They were overjoyed. Here, they finally found everything they needed to survive: food, water, and shelter. They went to a nearby pond, quenched their thirst, and took a refreshing bath. Feeling rejuvenated, they decided to stay there permanently. As night fell, they lit a campfire and sat around it, eating fruits they had gathered. While Vince was busy breaking open a fruit, Anna and Mason exchanged soft, loving glances. The dog was still there. It had just caught a rabbit. The dog dropped it on the ground and began barking loudly. The 3 got scared, thinking there was some danger nearby. But when Mason went forward to check, he realized what had happened, and he was thrilled. "The dog brought us a rabbit," he said with excitement. The 3 of them laughed with relief and praised the dog for its cleverness. The dog, it seemed, also wanted to share their meal. Soon, they cooked the rabbit and began to eat together. The hungry dog came closer, hoping for food. Mason threw a piece of meat toward it, but the dog didn't eat it. Anna, feeling a strange affection for the animal, offered her own food to it instead. To everyone's surprise, the dog ate from her hand. Anna smiled and decided to name the dog Gary. After eating, Mason and Anna began to play and laugh together, growing closer than ever. Gary sat beside them, quietly watching everything. Vince, however, didn't like what he saw. Feeling hurt and lonely, he walked away from the fire and sat under a tree, where he broke down and began to cry. While Anna was washing her hands and face, she suddenly realized that Vince was nowhere to be seen. Worried, she began looking for him. After searching for a while, she finally found him sitting alone under a tree, visibly upset. Concerned, Anna asked him why he looked so troubled. Vince quietly told her that he felt lonely. Hearing this, Anna understood what he meant. Vince longed for affection and emotional connection. She wanted to make him feel happy again. From a distance, Gary, the dog, was watching them both carefully, and he didn't seem to like what he saw. The next day, both men were working while Anna played with Gary. Vince and Mason were busy cutting wood so they could build a small hut to live in. After chopping the wood, the two started constructing the hut. Anna came by to check on them and then decided to go for a walk with Gary. Vince watched her closely, wondering why she was heading toward the forest. Meanwhile, Anna was happily exploring with Gary. She noticed some fruit growing on the trees and started picking them. Gary, however, got distracted chasing a rabbit, determined to catch one again. After collecting enough fruit, Anna turned to go back, but Gary still hadn't returned. She began to worry about him. Moments later, Gary appeared, proudly carrying a rabbit in his mouth. Anna smiled, relieved and happy. Later that evening, the three were eating dinner together, with Gary lying beside them. They even shared some of their food with him. The three were now content. This place had everything they needed: food, water, and shelter. And Gary often brought them fresh meat from his hunts. Days passed. Their clothes had become torn and ragged. They had nothing new to wear. Anna spent most of her time wandering around with Gary, and Gary loved her company. Whenever they felt like it, the two men would join Anna at the pond to bathe. Over time, all three of them had turned into something like wild people. Vince and Mason had become skilled hunters, chasing and killing animals for food. But Mason had started to feel uneasy around Vince. There was tension growing between them. The next day, Vince climbed a palm tree to look for something to eat. From the wood of the tree, he crafted a knife to protect himself. Mason, however, was growing jealous. He believed that as long as Vince was around, he could never truly win Anna's heart. So Mason attacked Vince in a fit of anger. Startled, Vince pointed the knife at him, forcing Mason to back off. Then Vince left the area and went toward Anna. That night, Anna was cooking fish when Vince arrived carrying a dead deer he had hunted himself. Anna was delighted. She loved venison. Mason, too, was pleased to see the deer, though he had not helped with the hunt. Meanwhile, Gary had caught a bird, but Mason angrily threw it away. When the meal was ready, the three sat down and ate together. Gary, still hungry, came to them and begged for food, but Mason shouted at him and drove him away. After dinner, Anna went inside the hut to sleep. Vince followed her, but Mason stopped him. Mason wanted to sleep inside the hut and ordered Vince to stay outside as a guard. Vince didn't like that idea at all. He pulled out his knife, thinking for a moment about attacking Mason. But when Mason looked at him, Vince hesitated. Then he realized Mason only wanted the knife. So instead of fighting, Vince handed the knife to Mason willingly and went inside the hut, smiling faintly. Outside, Mason laughed mockingly and kicked at Gary, scaring him away into the dark night. The next morning, Anna was bathing in a river while Gary watched her from a distance. Curious and playful, Gary grabbed her clothes and ran off with them. When Anna finished bathing and came out of the water, she couldn't find her clothes anywhere. From far away, Gary kept watching her quietly. Unable to find her clothes, Anna returned to the hut, but neither of the two men were there. Vince and Mason had gone hunting. Seeing Anna alone, Gary started barking loudly. His sudden barking scared her, and in panic, she slipped and fell to the ground. Gary came closer and started drinking water from a puddle nearby. That night, when the two men returned from their hunt, they saw Anna and Gary inside the hut. Gary barked as they entered, while Anna stood there smiling. Seeing her expression, both men instantly understood what had happened between her and Gary earlier that day. Mason became furious. In a fit of rage, he lunged at Gary but missed. Gary retaliated fiercely, attacking Mason and leaving him badly injured. Anna stood frozen, watching the entire scene unfold in horror. Mason somehow managed to escape from Gary's attack and ran into the forest, with Vince following close behind. Anna, however, felt a strange sense of satisfaction seeing them both hurt and terrified. Gary soon returned to her, and together they went back inside the hut. Meanwhile, Vince and Mason hid deep in the forest, trembling with fear and anger. After a while, Vince's anger boiled over. Consumed by rage, he grabbed a burning torch and sprinted back toward the hut. Moments later, Vince returned and set the hut on fire, furious at Anna for choosing Gary over them. Anna and Gary were trapped inside, but somehow managed to escape just in time. Vince fled into the darkness, unseen by Anna, who assumed Mason was the one who burned their home. Gary chased after Vince, determined to protect Anna. On his way, Mason saw the burning hut and realized what had happened. Gary was after Vince because of it. Terrified, Mason climbed up a tree to hide. Still running, Vince tried to shake Gary off, but Mason saw his chance. Filled with hatred, he jumped down and attacked Gary. He wanted revenge for everything Gary had taken from him, especially Anna's affection. Vince joined in, and together they overpowered Gary. They beat him savagely until they broke his jaw, killing him on the spot. Following Gary's trail, Anna soon reached the scene and saw saw everything. Horrified, she realized that Vince and Mason had murdered Gary. Overcome with fear, she turned and ran. Vince tried to chase her, but couldn't catch up. The next morning, as Anna was running through the forest, Mason suddenly appeared in front of her. Shocked, she stumbled and fell to the ground. Mason started moving toward her, but just then, Vince arrived and stopped him. Vince had made up his mind. He wanted Anna's love for himself. Mason, on the other hand, refused to back down. Both men claimed ownership over her. The two began to fight violently for Anna. Watching them, Anna seemed strangely entertained until the fight turned deadly. In the end, Vince killed Mason. In the final moments of the story, Vince and Anna were the only two people left alive. Together, they decided to live out the rest of their lives in the ruined world, alone but together. And with that, the story comes to an end. Thank you for watching.